I heard a saying a long time ago that's kind of always stuck with me. I can't find who said it. I've done quite a bit of digging around and just can't find it. But the saying is, a lot of work is easy with a little motivation. Because Motivationeer is the name of my company, anything related to motivation interests me. Especially this. We can get a lot done almost effortlessly, like we've entered into a time warp when we do get excited about what it is we're doing. So stay tuned, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to create the motivation to get a lot of work done more easily. Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp, and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. Okay, to start, I did a video almost 18 months ago now, back in March 2020, called Know Your Power Hours. It was kind of a productivity series I was doing, and really the thing that stood out the most is this idea of knowing your power hours. So I'm not going to repeat all that goes into that, but one very important aspect of having a lot of motivation, or even a little bit of motivation, to get work done is to know when you are most machine-like, when your cognitive resources are at their peak. That's the time of the day, the circadian rhythm. Again, I don't want to go into that, but that's a really important video to go watch. I do recommend it kind of as a supplement to this. Another thing I recommend is to read the book Willpower, Doesn't Work by Benjamin Hardy. I think you are going to be blown away by this book as much as I was. In fact, I may have mentioned this before on this channel. I was so blown away by that book, I got it for all of my clients for Christmas one year. This guy, Benjamin Hardy, is an industrial design engineer where he focuses on how to arrange a physical environment in order to maximize a person's cognitive output, their abilities, really ultimately their motivation. That is where we want to start, investing time, knowing what environment makes us work at our peak. For many of us, because of COVID, working from home instantly put into the equation a ton of distractions. Lots of background noise, dogs barking, babies crying, kids doing funny things. In fact, I was doing a session once where a person that was on the call was starting to talk to this audience that I had put together, and he was breaking up a lot. And it was really important what he was saying, so we kind of slowed the whole presentation down and said, hey, can you find out what's going on with your side? Well, he was working from home that day, and one of his kids started doing some video gaming on their network and brought his network down to a crawl. Yeah, environment makes a big difference in getting momentum and building steam and getting in, I think, what others might call that flow state. So go to that book, Willpower Doesn't Work, and see what you find there. Now, I want to attach to this a spiritual concept. It's something that Jesus taught in Matthew 17 and in Luke 17, this idea of having a mustard seed size of faith. In Matthew 17, very interestingly, they were trying to cast out a demon, which he gave them authority to do a full 7 chapters earlier when he sent them out in Matthew 10. That's when I think he sent out the 72 in Matthew 10. Now here, 7 chapters later, Matthew 17, they can't do it. And they came to Jesus and said, hey, what's going on? He said, because your faith is so little. And then immediately says, if you had a mustard seed size of faith, you could tell this mountain to get up and go throw yourself into the sea. So kind of it was a pretty big dig on Jesus, on the disciples from Jesus. A mustard seed is this tiny. Your faith is even tinier than that. Now, I've never seen or heard any examples written in ancient history, of course, none captured in the Bible, where someone commanded a mountain to throw itself into the sea. In Luke 17, he likens this to a bush or a tree. You can tell this tree to move and it'll get up and move. It didn't happen. So was he being metaphorical or literal? Well, I think he was being metaphorical. Otherwise, we would have seen it. We would have seen him do it or others, right? And mountains don't move. So what does that mean to have a little bit of faith? Well, the same thing with a little bit of motivation, which of course are not the same. But the idea is the absence of doubt. With motivation, it's the absence of things that keep us from getting motivated. This, I think, is the key. Take time understanding when you are most motivated. Of course, the time of day is key because of our circadian rhythm. It's also key to understand what you ingest, what you eat that kills motivation. For me, that's sugar or high carbs. That will just take the fight right out of me. If I eat something sugary, I just want to take a nap. Take the time to research what that is for you. I actually found out, thanks to my wife and her amazing work in understanding how nutrition really helps us lose weight but manage our mood, etc. If you want to know more about that, just send me a message and I can connect you with her, Deirdre Sommerkamp. Her business is Get Healthy Inside Out. But what I found, thanks to her work, was that milk takes the fight out of me, and so do peanuts and regular fruit, because regular fruit has so much sugar in it. That doesn't work well for me. Now berries do, so I manage my sweet tooth by eating berries in the morning, even dates. Dates do have a little bit higher amount of sugar, but it seems to be low glycemic. So the time that you get up to do the work, the type of food that you eat, those are the things that I have found for me make a huge difference in my motivation. And what I can do, and I have found it's become way easier to do, I set up this environment that I can walk right into a motivation mindset. I get rid of distractions, it's quiet, the lighting's right, put a little music on, and then I start getting into this machine mode. What is that for you? That will help create the action. I did a blog on my website called Which Comes First, Motivation or Action? And I get thousands of hits on that blog every month. That's the most visited part of my website. And what I said there, and I'm saying to you here now, there is a lot of argument about which comes first. Do we act first and that generates motivation, or are we motivated first and that creates action? I think it's different for people because some very smart people on both sides of the fence have great arguments. The question is, as I put in that blog article, what is it for you? Take the time to investigate, research it, make that part of your mission to understand yourself well enough to know when you are motivated and when you're not, what gets you motivated and what takes the motivation out of you. And what you will find is the more you practice that, the more you'll get better at it, the more you'll accomplish. This is what we want to do with the talent God's given us. Make the most out of it, whether you have 5 talents, 2 talents, or 1 talent. Let's go find out what motivates us, because with a little bit of motivation, a lot of work is easy. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation, and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at Motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform